attention. Right, now let's get the ball rolling. One industry where emotions play an important role is retail. Think about it. There is a set of consumers who are so attached to their brands, they just can't wait for discounts to be announced to shop to their heart's content. And on the other hand, a bad shopping experience can have an emotionally charged shopper on the shop floor. Speaking on the topic Emotional Connect, a retail perspective, is our keynote speaker of the day, Mr. Vishak Kumar, the CEO of Madurai Fashion and Lifestyle, a business unit of Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail Limited. He spearheads India's most iconic fashion brands such as Louis Philippe, Van Heusen, Alan Solly, and Peter England. Please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Vishak Kumar.
Okay. I'm going to need some help here. I don't know, it's gone off connect. Just. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me here. Honestly, when I was first asked to speak about this, it just struck me that how distracted we've actually become. And let's do a small show of hands. How many of you have used your phone in the last 10 minutes? That's everybody. Okay. How many of you open your phone within 10 minutes of waking up? Again, almost all of you. See it at least 50 times a day? So, we are in a fairly distracted world. All right? That much is known. Now, the real trick is, and I figured that most of you are very talented people from media, from advertising, marketing, and so on. So most of it you would have already figured. So I have to try and give you some paisa vasool. I have to give you something which is a new perspective. So I'll try and do that. I'm, though, not a speaker, okay? So I'll be only as effective as you help me to be. So I'd really encourage you to make this real time and chip in the conversation, okay? So we can have a dialogue rather than a speech. So here is some statistics for you before we get started. So 10 seconds is how much you decide, whether any visitor decides whether you're going to stay on a page or not. I mean, many of us are familiar with that buffering symbol. And if it doesn't load in 3 seconds. Now, we got into the online business without knowing this, and we figured this within 3 months, that if your page doesn't load within 3 seconds, you've lost 40% of your customers. So clearly there is elevator pitches. Many of you from agencies, you know how important this is. I'm sure most of you have clients who get distracted within a minute of your starting to speak to them. How does one deal with all of this? Even second ages for commercials have gone down. Of course, some of it is because of the high media rates which you guys charge, but some of it is also because attention spans have come down. How does one deal with all this? So let me just first give you a slightly different perspective. So let me pause here for a question. Are we more distracted than ever before, or have things just not changed? What's really happened? Only the medium of distraction has changed. Wonderful. Really? Okay, instead of a saber-toothed lion chasing you, yes, now there is a mobile phone chasing you. Okay, so whichever way you look at it, has anything else really changed? Sorry, I'm so sorry. सारा डिस्ट्रैक्शन एक फोन के अंदर आ गया है. Okay, so it's unified distraction. Actually, that should be good news for us. I mean, logically, so that's right. Has anything else really changed? We have apps too? Absolutely. There are distraction measure apps also. Absolutely. And hence, when everybody speaks loudly, there is even more clutter. More noise, more clutter. Exactly. So, since everybody, every individual can now become a medium or can become a voice, okay, so everybody speaks, and hence even more clutter, even more noise, and so much more choice as well because of that. Our patience levels have decreased. Is that right? Honestly, sir, what's your name? Piyush. Netflix, Amazon Prime, honestly, how many binge-watching sessions have you had?
I personally don't do.
Okay, but others?
They do, yeah.
How many of us who watched a 10-part series in one shot? Yes? Come on. We do that, right? And so many of us, वो नहाते नहीं हैं, खाते नहीं हैं, वो पूरा एक shot में binge watching करते हैं, right? So there is that also, Piyush. So on one hand, you're absolutely right. Okay, she's already on the phone. Okay, this guy is just wasting my time. Let me get to something else, right? So there is that also. So I lost her in 7 seconds. Yeah, but on the other hand, you have good what is it, Mirzapur or Sacred Games or Inside Edge or Game of Thrones. People have done binge watching on that, 10 episodes, 20 episodes. So there is both. You have patience for things that you want to have patience for.
But binge watching is an example of having not patience, right? Watching all these reads at once.
Okay, that's also right. So you're right. So I guess depends on how you look at it. But yeah. So what's really changed? I'm sorry, I banged your head twice.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, here.
Okay, go ahead.
I think day by day, experience is improving. Because of that, like people are getting more attracted towards those apps or mobile phones or websites.
Super. Yeah. So there is clearly, from, most of us are from Doordarshan era, yes, where there was 6 to 8:30 p.m. entertainment, and that also included Krishi Darshan and Saptahiki and all of that. From that to the sheer choice that you've got today, absolutely right. And you're really spoiled for choice. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So that's another question. How many of you have switched from live TV to streamed content? There you are. So most people now have moved to streamed content from live TV. Yeah, which again, of course, means that you can be a lot more choosy. You don't have to fix up, Kapil Sharma show will come at 9 p.m. You don't have to do any of that. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Because of various learning opportunities, everywhere there's competition. Everybody wants to be a perfectionist. Everybody tries to brand themselves well. So there are so many opportunities. You can think in a positive way.
Yes and no. Because there is a parallel virtual life which we are all leading, many of us forget to live in the moment, right? So that also, okay. So it's very interesting,
Excuse me.
Yeah, sorry.
Right here.
Yeah.
So when you ask a question, have things become better or worse, what comes to my mind first is, see, it depends how you define distraction. So when I'm studying, when I used to study in school, which is what I used to think, but my mom would say, don't watch out the window, don't look at kids playing there, because this is what you're supposed to do.
Super.
Right? So when I'm driving my car, looking at my phone can be a distraction if I check WhatsApp.
Absolutely.
But if I need the map, I need to use it.
Yes.
So for that, I got to find a phone holder or something which doesn't affect me negatively. So if I have to see these as distraction, it depends how I perceive it and how I use it in my life to my benefit.
See some of my later slides?
No.
Hang on. I think beautiful. I think
that's what my view is. Right?
You've hit the nail on some of this.
Thank you.
And that's really, for marketeers, how are we going to become part of the attraction rather than part of the distraction? Okay, so thank you. And let's look at some more thoughts. So here's what I think has changed, and here is what has not changed. This is my hypothesis. Okay, the sigma, the total of all stimuli which are there for you, is a constant. Okay, at any point of time, 10,000 years back, 5,000 years back, last year, next year. The sigma of all stimulus that is going to hit you is a constant. Having said that, like you rightly said, the nature of that stimulus has dramatically changed. You no longer have to worry about bombs falling on your building most of the days. Okay, you no longer have to worry about plague and famine. You no longer have to worry about beasts trying to kill you. You no longer have to worry about a whole different kinds of beasts, perhaps. But most of the time, we don't have to worry so much about things that previous generations worried about. Okay, so the sigma of all stimulus is constant. It's just that the nature of stimulus has changed. Yes. So how do we deal with that? Just look at this. This is a survey done in Canada, but I don't think it'll be very different in India. Actually, it's 2 years old, so things would have only become even more pronounced. So when nothing is occupying my attention, the first thing I do is reach my phone. How many of us would agree with that? Huh? I have nothing to do, I reach out to my phone. Check my phone at least every 30 minutes, all of us. Yes? So last thing I do before going to bed, stream TV, this is another thing. Even when we are watching TV, when we are watching a movie in a theater, we are doing other things. Yes? If you know, we air our ads on PVR and Inox and all of that, our TV commercial, cinema commercials. And whenever I'm in a theater, I try to look back to see how many people are watching the ad and how many people are on their phone. It's very frustrating. At least 25% of the people are on their phone. And the only consolation is when they're watching Manyavar ad, even more people are on the phone. So, so that's the only consolation. Okay, they do this to everybody. But the fact is that people are watching 2 devices, 3 devices, real time, all the time. So how do we deal with this? And I think we heard some thoughts on that. And all I can share is what are we doing about it? How are we doing with this reality? And let me tell you, this reality affects us in more ways than you can imagine. For many of you, the phone is a distraction only from perspective of information or entertainment. For us, it's also commerce. Okay, a very large part of our business today is happening on the phone. Okay, people are buying products on the phone. 1 in 10 shirts that we sells through Myntra or Jabong or Amazon or Flipkart. Okay, so it also means hence that we've got to get a whole lot of things changed. And I just thought I'll share some of that with you. So the first thing is, in this world, it's almost counterintuitive, but what we've had to dramatically strengthen is customer intimacy. How many of you even read your SMSs anymore? OTP, of course. Yes. But beyond that, any of your loved ones send you SMSs anymore? Okay, we got one. All right, congratulations, sir. Only if the WhatsApp network is not working. And most of it is spam hence, right? And I've got about 600 messages which I'm yet to delete. Okay, pure spam. Okay, so, sorry, you're saying something? Yes. Correct, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, the point is this. There was a time when all of us responded to messages which they came from marketeers to us. All of us at different points of time. We responded as in we did something with it. When emails came to us, when SMSs came to us and so on. Today, there is no way you can. Okay? Having said that, what does matter is how intimate are you with customers. So here are some of the things we've done. Regroomed, reoriented our entire sales team to be fashion consultants. Okay? No more sales targets and no more. All you got to do is to be fashion consultants. So look at the kind of targets. For instance, we've created something called a Club of 100. How many of our staff can know at least 100 customers by name and face? Right? Now, in today's extremely cluttered world, in today's world where you're bombarded with messages, a real human connect is the most endearing thing for you. Okay? When somebody knows, aha, here is Mr. Devraj who has come, and here is what he bought last time, and so on and so forth, it's really endearing. So the first thing we've done is to reorient ourselves to say, can we dramatically change the way we look at customer intimacy? Our store staff would even send you personalized looks directly. So if you've said, let me know when these kind of designs come to your store, let me know. So we would have a list of that, and we would send that only to you. So this whole notion of sending bulk messages, this whole concept of bulk communication, over. Not even data analytics driven, so-called customized. This is human driven customized. Because data analytics driven can at best create clusters, 10 clusters, 15 clusters, and so on. Consumers have figured that also. Okay, they figured that ye nakli hai. Right? They want the real thing. So how can you give them the real thing? Give them intimacy. Second, personalize. Okay, there are customers who want to be recognized for who they are. So I'll give you an example. We've launched a new brand in India, Simon Carter. It's a London-based designer brand, very sharp, niche-positioned brand. We needed consumer data, so we needed a loyalty program. But we very quickly realized that for that evolved consumer of Simon Carter, points and this and that has zero meaning. Zero meaning. So we actually sat with those customers and said, what do you want? How would you want? He said, treat us as your friends. So we actually created a program which is called Friends of Simon. And Friends of Simon has a whole lot of gifts and experiences, including, for instance, here is a Merc, drive it around for a day with your family. Okay, if you're that kind of a customer. Or if there are certain kinds of gifts that you like, if there are certain kind of... Now, it doesn't cost you very differently. It's just that the effort required to fine-tune it for your requirements is very different. So instead of saying, do everything for everybody, find ways by which you genuinely create friendships. We had a fashion show with customers wearing our products and walking around and having a ball. And so on with each of our brands. We've done that with Van Heusen. Customers write to you, customers connect with you, they tell you what you want. And after a point, they're almost demanding from you, hey, this is what I want. Okay, and when you reach that stage, it's co-creation. The other thing, in this jargon of segmentation is what's the right customer segment? And for us, the segment is a segment of 1. How do I address each individual customer as a segment of 1? So here is our new pilot, which has just started, which is the clienteling app in each of our stores, which we're piloting right now, which is basically to say, when you come to my store, so if you're Mr. Shantanu Sarkar, okay, as soon as you entered my store, I know all about you that I already know. Okay? So my store manager knows that here is Mr. Shantanu Sarkar. 24th May 1978 is his birthday, so on and so forth. Don't worry, this is dummy data, so nobody's phone number is being compromised. Okay? Now, huh? Okay, is there a Shantanu Sarkar you know? Okay. But this was out of our imagination. Okay. No, that's another one. Okay. Okay, anyway, so his favorite size, okay, across products. What fit does he wear? Let me not waste his time when he enters my store with figuring out what fit to give him and make him go 3 times to the trial room. Because honestly, sir, all of you are wearing trousers, shirts and all that. Do you know which fit are you wearing? No. I mean, except if you're in the apparel business or something, none of us really know which fit we're wearing. And yet, if I knew that you're wearing the Alan Solly custom fit, okay, I don't have to make you go 3 times to the trial room to figure out your right fit. It's very irritating for the same reasons you said. People have low patience. Okay, so can I give you a quick solution on various things? Which sub-brands do you like buying? What did he rate me last time when he entered my store? We have a customer feedback. So he gave me an 8 on 10, or did he give me a 10 on 10, 9 on 10? And if he gave me a bad experience, I also know I got to solve something for him. Okay, he gave me a bad experience on variety in the store. Okay, so I know, okay, this is what he was looking for, which he didn't have. Let me make sure before he asks me, I have all of that ready. I can, the kind of data that you can have with this, his past purchase, his history, his customer feedback, his all of that can make for a very, very powerful tech-enabled consumer experience. The other thing we figured is you can no longer be single channel. Okay, so you've got to be able to connect your online experience with your physical brick and mortar store experience. So what can you do which makes sure? So for instance, today you can do it any way. So you visit my store, you love this shirt and you want it in size 46. 46 is a large size. Most stores won't have it all the time in all the designs, but you love the design. You know 46 fits you, right? You've tried another shirt. No problem, sir. Hang in there. Here is my virtual store. This is available. I can get it for you by late evening. Done. You pay me and the product reaches your home. I can do that. You want to buy it online, but you're not sure, will you like it or not? Okay? So you can reserve it online, get it delivered to the store, try it in the store, don't like it, don't buy it, no problem. So you can do a try and buy in the store. All of this possible. What it has also done for us is significantly reduce the lead times. So most of us, when we buy from Myntra or Amazon or whatever, take a long time. It takes 5 days, 10 days to deliver the product. With this, because we have 2,000 stores across the country, almost every home is less than 24 hours away for our delivery. So it's a huge power that you've got to be able to integrate your physical experience with your online experience. Finally, personalize your product. How can I, in this world of mass marketing, mass production and so on, how can I create a product for you which is uniquely for you? So here's what we did with what your tailor would do for you, but with a low quality standard, because he doesn't have the benefit of mass production. He doesn't have machines which can make the best collar. He doesn't have machines which can do a great wrinkle-free and so on. We have all of that. Now, how do we still make it for you and uniquely for you? Okay, sir. So you want an athletic fit. You got it. Okay, but you want your sleeves are a little longer, you want 2 centimeters more on the sleeve. Okay, you got it. You want SN to be monogrammed on your cuff. Okay, you got it. Okay, you want it monogrammed in your cuff and your pocket. You got it. Okay, you want it in a cutaway collar because you like wearing ties. You got it. You want, and so on. All of this and delivered to you at your home within 4 days, wherever you are in the country. We have about 1 lakh delighted customers with Van Heusen MyFit who can now not buy anything else except Van Heusen MyFit. Because it just exactly gives them the same Van Heusen that they love, but exactly to the size that their body is. And by the way, if you've done this once physically, you can do this online anytime. After that, you don't even need to go to the store. You got fitted. You know exactly what your size is. Then you just order that. Your history is already with us. Build a culture of customer centricity where the entire organization is celebrating service. How do we create for this distracted customer a delightful experience when he's inside the store, almost to the extent that he doesn't feel like looking at his mobile, doesn't feel like making calls, doesn't feel like checking his messages and so on. So this is one of the things that we do, which is to be able to create disproportionately high experience at the store. Finally, also keep your content snackable. Keep your content at a size where it's easy for consumers to take it in bite sizes. Can you turn the sound on?
Whoa!
By the way, this one won the Best Campaign Award in Hotstar during this season's IPL. So people, we finally reached about some cumulatively 80 million views in this campaign. So people liked it. It was bite-sized. It was entertaining. So here are my final thoughts, and I want to then hear it from you. This is Satya Nadella. I have tweaked his words, but mostly his. So from a time when there was computing power scarcity, okay, the only commodity which is scarce right now is human attention. Okay, so as marketeers, as media planners, as creative people, how do we use that to our advantage? Where the attention span is so limited, the challenge of breaking clutter. We are all familiar with clutter for all these years, but it's now at a very, very different proportion. So that's really what I have to say. Would be very happy to have some more discussion on any thoughts that anybody would have on this. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes, of course. Of course it is. In fact, our women's business share online is higher than our men's business share online. Women have taken on to online, in fact, much faster than men.
Choice.
Perhaps. Okay. So I think we as marketers, then we need to do better to be able to serve the women customer. But to answer your question, yes, very strong online presence for women. Yes, ma'am. No, it's even harder. You're absolutely right. We do a very large part of our business from Shopper Stop, from Lifestyle, from Central, and so on. In fact, we are the largest brand in almost all these chains. There, the clutter is even higher. There, everybody is screaming, the same thing that you said a little while back. Everybody is screaming. I think it just means you have to become sharper. Your message has to be sharper, your communication, your product, your differentiation, all of that has to be of a superior order if you have to be relevant to consumers. Of course, it also happens that because they have such high footfalls, you anyway swim with the tide. Okay? Having said that, if you want to be a market leader there, okay, you need to have disruptive differentiation. So, and those are some of the challenges. We do that sometimes. We do that through events. We do that through joint marketing programs using their loyalty customer base and so on. But you're absolutely right. In fact, this is a bigger question for the department store heads. Okay? How do they retain their customers in an environment where there is so much bombardment of messages on the consumer? How do they create loyalty? How do they create a seamless experience? And all of my colleagues in department stores are going through these challenges and each trying to solve them in different ways.
Sorry to interrupt, but we will not be able to take any more questions from the crowd. But thank you so much, Mr. Kumar, for that insightful, interactive session. There were so many great takeaways, and I think we all learned a lot from that. If anyone has any more questions, please feel free, if Mr. Kumar is so kind, to take them off stage.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And before you leave, may I please request you to join me on stage, and also Mr. Nawal Ahuja to hand over a small memento from our side.